I made a video recently detailing why I thought the Stellar type was an awful addition, or at least it was just a whatever addition to competitive battling. However, I was wrong, and probably premature in my opinion. Before I detail why I was wrong, if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more competitive Pokemon content just like this, as we're on the road to 20k subscribers. So if you guys like these types of videos, subscribing is the best way to let me know you guys want more. Anyways, thank you for all your support, and let's get on with the video. If you guys don't know what the Stellar type is, let me give you guys a short rundown. Basically, this is a new exclusive Terra type that allows your Pokemon to engage in high-powered offense, as it gives a one-time boost to each of its moves once per battle, and even boosts the power of Terra Blast even further in exchange for lowering its offenses. Terra Blast will be converted to the Stellar type, however, and this is a neutral type move to all types unless the opposing Pokemon is terrestrialized, in which case it deals super effective damage. Furthermore, Stellar type isn't a quote-unquote real type, as your natural type will stay on the same as the field no matter what. So in essence, this is just a huge offensive boon for a short while. I argued in my video that this would be completely useless in singles, as normal terrestrialization offers way more flexibility and viability with defensive covers, and also isn't restricted offensively after you use any move once, and also doesn't reduce your offenses after you use Terra Blast either. Although while I agree with most of that, what I failed to mention though is the addition of contrary users such as Enamorus and Serperior, which I will touch on Serperior in a second. Why is the Stellar type relevant suddenly for the contrary users? Well, Contrary is an ability where it flips all stat changes for a Pokemon throughout a battle. For example, when Serperior uses Leaf Storm during competitive play, notice how instead of lowering the special attack by 2 stages, it instead increases it by 2 stages. This allows for more of a dynamic gameplay factor, because it allows for more time to pressurize the opponent with this potent offense, as it's very subjugated to snowball pretty efficiently. The same can be applied to the idea of the Stellar type. If you recall, Terra Blast underneath this effect is supposed to reduce your offenses, however instead, it can be used actually to in reverse to hopes increase them. This makes the Stellar type much more interesting and compelling. For instance, with Enamorus especially, it is a solid physical attacker and now is given a straight up broken tool to take it to another level. Enamorus in the past, at least physically, could struggle against poison types, Goldango, etc., which is why oftentimes, although contrary users were an eye-popping gadget to use, it wasn't as efficient as its special attacking variant, which is why you would never really see this version going out and about as often when people refer to Enamorus. The Stellar changes this because not only is Terra Blast more powerful, but as I explained before, it always hits neutral unless the opponent is terrored, meaning no matter what, Enamorus will be getting an attack off and be dealing solid damage, if not straight up ridiculous damage, coming off a base 115 physical attack stat. Poison types are no longer scary, and Goldango is relatively useless when facing this Pokemon. It's better to at least deal powerful neutral damage than doing resistant damage for this Pokemon, and although Terra types are still available, the fact it can boost while using Terra Blast is what makes it a ridiculous type to begin with. I'm sure throughout the gameplay you have seen above how ridiculous it can snowball too. It is able to flip the negative Terra Blast in this state upside down and use it to its advantage to plow through teams like never before. When you pair this up with other boosting moves of like Superpower, it is virtually unstoppable. Superpower, Play Rough, Terra Blast, and something like Iron Head, Substitute, or Zen Headbutt could be used in the last move slot. What makes Enamorus even more scary though is that it's got both physical and special sets that are completely viable within the tier. So unless you know the set by just looking at the opponent's team, it is a rough guess before you commit to whatever it's going to be, and by that time it might be too late for your side. Serperior as well finds itself in a more similar context because, well, 1, it has contrary, but 2, because its offenses are weak and Leaf Storm and Dragon Balls it's all is pretty much got, it wasn't as hard to wall and find Pokemon that match up well type-wise. However, just like Enamorus with the Stellar type, the ability to go completely neutral and boost its offenses at an alarming rate has been another blessing for it. In my opinion, this is a much better alternative than having to rely on Dragon Pulse or even normal terrestrialization for solid coverage, because although the defensive switch up and advantageous Terra Blast for the right situations, for instance Terra Ground, is nice, with the Stellar Terra Blast, you're boosting your offenses while at least hitting neutral to most of the other Pokemon, which isn't that bad of a trade-off when you realize it's pretty bulky and fast. It can handle most Pokemon like Amoonguss, Ogerpon, Glowking, etc. in a much better fashion than previously stated if it just had Dragon Pulse. This is though not to sway from the other potential terrestrialization that it could have. In fact, that it makes it much even scarier because you don't even know what Terra type it's probably going to be until it finally terras. Paired alongside Substitute and Glare, this Pokemon is on a collision course to stay and destroy all of OU. The only thing stopping this snake creature is its poor natural offenses, which at the time of this release was questionable, but now I'm glad it's not even one base stat higher. Between the two contrary users at the moment, because of Enamorus' natural higher offenses and unpredictably in terms of sets, it's been abusing the Stellar type even more. However, this is not to say that one is better than the other. In fact, both Pokemon are in the top viability ranks as they continue to abuse their respective Stellar types. I don't know which one will be banned first, to be be honest, but I will say from my experience, it is much easier to handle Serperiors, since it has to get up some boost before it can start snowballing down, despite it being faster than Enamorus and a lot of the meta. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these Pokemon, and thank you to my members for their continued support. If you wish to support me even further, the links to my YouTube membership and Patreon are down below. Comment down below the genie emoji, and join the Chompy Discord, and until next time, thank you for watching as always.